Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows. Today is October 30th, and this little guy is 2.5 weeks old now, Malachi. He doesn't really want to open his eyes because of the bright light, but there he is. So we are doing well. I'm still trying to just rest and get the time that I need for recovery, and to get the time I need for recovery, keeping my feet up and doing those types of things. So we have been mostly in the house. My great-grandmother came to visit. My grandmother, the kid's great-grandmother, came to visit. So we've been home visiting with her. And what else have we been doing, little guy? I don't know. The family has a cold, so we're trying to keep this little guy as healthy as possible. I know. It's okay. Keep this little guy as healthy as possible and do everything we need to around here. So the girls have taken over doing a lot of the chores. And we are also going to be working on potty training the 2-year-old. So if you think of us over the next couple days, you can pray as we go about those things and doing what we need to do as we get back into somewhat of a normal schedule and some school schedule as time goes on. So what I wanted to talk about today is our church is doing a Bible reading plan for this year, and we've been going through the New Testament. And so the New Testament readings that we've been doing have brought us to James. And we were reading James 1 yesterday. Today we were reading James 2. And, excuse me, today we were reading James 2. And in James 1, it talks about being a doer of the word and not a hearer only. And so what I wanted to talk about today is just when we read our Bibles, do we really ask God to show us how to be a doer and not just a hearer? Do we look to the Bible to say, how is this asking us to change in the way we treat our family, the way we treat our friends, the way we treat our, sorry, he's just being cute, the way we treat our coworkers, or maybe how we spend our time, how we spend our money, how we treat our church family and the things that we're required to do for our church family. There's a lot of things we can see in the Bible and things we should be doing. But I know for me too often, I just read and I can forget to apply and see how would God want me to change the things that I'm doing by what I read in this passage. So just a quick look through of James. We talked about a lot of stuff yesterday in our family Bible study, but just a quick look through of things we can do. We're supposed to be counting our trials as joy. That is a very hard thing to do, but to remember when you're in the midst of trial, God has put us in this place. He knows what our life is entailing at the moment, and to be looking with joy to Him. Knowing that He is going to see us through this trial. We also are to ask God if we don't understand something. If we're lacking wisdom in decisions in our life, we're supposed to ask God. And if we ask in faith, He will give us answers to that. So that's another thing we can do. We're supposed to be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger. Something else we can do. It's hard to do, hard to remember in the situation to do those things, but something we need to do. We are to visit the orphans and the widows, and we also are to bridle our tongues. That was just a quick look through of what we read yesterday. I could pull out and talk about more than that, but just an encouragement. Everything we read in the Bible is teaching us something that we're supposed to do towards God. It might be from a good example or it might be from a bad example. In the Old Testament, there's a lot of stories, and sometimes we can learn from their bad example of not obeying in a situation. We can learn something we're supposed to do. So I'm going to try to be doing some more videos pointing out some specific verses of things we can do. This week, I'm going to be focusing on the quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, because I know it's very easy to want to speak up and not be listening to someone else's point of view, or get angry in a situation when I really should be listening more. So that's what I'm going to do this week, looking at James 1. We're still going through James, so there's other things that we will be talking about. But from whatever you've done in Bible reading the last couple days, today's Wednesday, so maybe if you haven't picked up your Bible, you should. But if you haven't, maybe it's something you heard in the Sunday service. What can you be focusing on to do? And if you want to leave some encouragement for other people, please leave it in the comments below or on our Facebook page of what you're using your Bible to focus on this week. So thank you for joining Herding Little Cows.